I've got it, boys. Nope.
Okay.
This is the official podcast, episode 290. Well, I fucked up. 293 or 4. I don't remember.
Don't throw your hands up for jobs that you don't know how to fucking do.
Yeah,
it's episode 293.
That was a mistake. But the reason I wanted to take it so quickly is because I want to get into Jackson's mental health here. He has a compulsive desire to 100% every Assassin's Creed game despite not liking them. So what's up with that?
Why? Not every Assassin's Creed game. I won't dare touch the ones that are actually good. I'm only playing the new bad ones.
Thank God you cleared that one
And
up.
you went back to them. Okay, so as someone who doesn't know any of these games, am I understanding correctly? You picked up games that are like 5 years old just so you can 100% them? Games that suck, that you don't even like?
It's not 5 years old. It was released in 2018, I think.
Okay,
wait,
4 years
that
old.
might be 5 years old.
Yeah, almost
Jesus
5.
Christ.
Point is
What
these
year
suck
is it?
ass, and you went back to them. Why? Why do you do this to yourself?
So I'll give the rundown here. I first completed the first Assassin's Creed new Assassin's Creed game, Assassin's Creed Origins, the Pyramid Egypt one. I finished that back in 2019 after a magical 100-hour journey. Actually, it was more like 90 hours, 90-hour journey. And I don't know why. I don't know why I did that initially. I think it was just I set myself the challenge and I got into like a stubborn mind state where I needed to see it through, otherwise I would hate myself.
It's just not a challenge, though. You use achievement guides. You just follow everyone else's work.
No, you don't have to use achievement guides for Assassin's Creed. It's very simple achievements. It's easy. It's mostly just the time commitment.
That sounds even more tedious. So,
I don't
okay,
know.
give
It
us
is
an
tedious.
example. What is an achievement? So, again, like I said, you jump into hay bales from buildings. Is that it? What do you do?
I mean, that you don't really do that in the new ones. It's mostly just a standard RPG where you run around and hit enemies and complete the story. The achievements are basically just for completing story beats, usually. There's some that require a bit of thought. It's not so much the achievements, really. It's just 100%ing the games. And the fact that they're so large and incredibly dull did make it a challenge. Because it's like forcing yourself to get through something excruciatingly painful. That's a challenge.
So
I just
that
can't imagine.
sucking is the challenge.
I just can't imagine why. Like that's just such not fun. Like I like shitty games, but I would never 100% them. And especially not completely by myself, isolated with no one to share it with.
Okay, so the Assassin's...
Yeah, so
the
you're
first
giving
two...
yourself homework is what this is. You're giving yourself homework. Boring, tedious work, yes, that you have to complete for nothing.
No, I probably wouldn't have played them if I wasn't going with that challenge in my mind. So it's not really homework, because I went in there with that goal of 100%ing it. Because I was like, what? So initially I was like, what is the stupidest fucking game I can complete right now that would be just a monumental time waste? And something I can look back at and like, I should never do that again. And then I was like, the new Assassin's Creed games, of course. They're these incredibly large games, like needlessly large. They're just grindy, filled with repetitive missions, the same thing over and over again. Just, you know, the typical Ubisoft affair at this point. So I did the first one, and then I will admit that I did get like this really weird sense of accomplishment after I had finished it, like 100% of it. I was like, damn, that's something big. And I think I've just been riding that feeling for the last 4 years.
This is masochism. This is bizarre. So, okay, I don't know anything between you and your girlfriend, but may I ask, like, do you enjoy getting kicked in the balls in the bed?
No, that was you, right? You're the one with the ball dripping wax stuff. That's your thing.
I mean, yeah, and even this is bizarre to even me. I don't like torture of this degree.
Because it's not like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's so tedious. It's not even just like torture. You're basically just going into a comatose state for 100 hours. Like you just sit there and feel nothing. 100%ing a game you don't even like.
Okay, so the first game was over a span of like a year though. So it's not like I spent 100 hours in 1 week doing it. I chipped away at it.
Oh my god, a year?
And then this next game, Odyssey, I started that immediately after Origins, which was in 2019. So I've only just 100%ed it now. So that's a 3-year time period, roughly, of chipping away at it every now and then. So it's not like it's been weeks of like, you know, massive gamer sessions.
Does this feel like a worthwhile use of your time, Jackson? And by that I mean, like, it's great that you have this challenge. I appreciate that. Going like, oh, I'm going to do this in a game. That could be interesting. But out of the thousands of games that there are to play, and probably the hundreds that would more be appealing and actually fun to play to you, why this one?
Yeah, I can't answer that. I have no fucking clue why I like obsessively.
There's like no box that this
fixated on this
There's
one.
no box that this ticks. Like, if you want a better game, there's tons of them out there. If you want one just for the achievements, there's much easier achievements to get. If you want an Assassin's Creed game that's fun, you could replay one of the better ones. Like,
I didn't want an easy task. I didn't want something that I was going to
so
be able
your
to like
way
easily
of
do.
having
of
fun
hard
and
tasks.
relaxing is to just give yourself work to do.
Yeah. I think it's both not really a time commitment, and it is at the same time, because it's a lot. It's the total amount of time you spend in it is a lot, but you don't have to do that all like in the same day. So spread across a couple years or whatever, it's not really that much time.
I could understand this entirely if this was a pick up and play type deal. Like if Assassin's Creed Odyssey was a phone game. No. If it was like a phone game, or you had a Steam Deck, or you were, I don't know, just, picking it up and being like, oh, I'll just do it for a little bit and put it down. But this is a game you got to boot up your console or your computer. You got to be at home. You got to get in your little setup. You got to flip on your controller. Like, this is a game you got to sit in and like get invested in. And
Yeah, it's time I'd usually be sitting on the couch watching YouTube anyway, so it's not really that much different.
Okay, but why do you why Assassin's Creed specifically? Like, why not? I don't know, Dead Space or Fortnite.
Well,
what is it about Assassin's Creed?
I couldn't spend 120 hours in in Dead Space or anything like that. They literally are the most vapid, large games that are filled with just empty nothingness for 120 hours. I will say the thing that drew me mostly to these games is the historical setting. Like, I did find ancient Egypt interesting for the first 20 hours, and I did find ancient Greece interesting for the first 20 hours as well. But of course, it turns into a grind eventually, probably after about the 50-hour mark. So
they also start making shit up. It's like,
now it's a video game. What can you do?
Yeah.
But yeah, so just a quick update on my Assassin's Creed journey. The reason why this was all just brought up for people listening at home is I just completed 100% of the second game in the trilogy, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, the Greek one. And that, like I said, that one has been in the works since 2019, and I finally knocked it over while I had COVID, so I'm pretty actually happy and proud with that one. And I know you guys are too. You're very supportive of my dreams to finish the trilogy.
Are you gonna do Valhalla next? Are you actually gonna do that?
I feel like I have to now.
No, see, like there is something just like actually like wrong with you. Like you need clinical help.
Jackson, if I handed you 3 plates of shit, three literal plates with shit on them, and I said, okay, you have to like force down the first one. Just force it down, you have to eat it. And then you forced it down. And then you said, you know what? I'll try the second plate. It might not be as bad. And then you eat the second plate, and it's just as bad. Would you really eat the third plate of shit?
No, you're not getting it, Andrew. I went into those plates knowing that it's shit and that it tastes like shit,
you
and I
wanted
still
to eat shit.
I guzzled that down. I guzzled that down because the achievement of eating 100% shit afterwards is being able to say that you ate 100% shit.
So if I gave you a plate of shit and I said afterwards, Jackson, I'll give you a pat on the back and I'll cheer you on and go, yay, Jackson, would you do it?
It's not for you. I don't care what you think. It's for me.
What do you mean? You get achievements explicitly to show them off to other people. That's the reason they exist.
No, I don't. I completed these Assassin's Creed games to say to myself, I set myself a task, a challenge that I thought was insurmountable, and I accomplished it. It might not be impressive to you, but it's impressive to me.
Why not just do that like for something more productive? Like if you want to play a game and waste time, why not choose a game where you can actually have accomplishment, like Rocket League, for example? Why not say, I'll commit 100 hours to Rocket League while I have COVID and see if I can hit Diamond or something?
Jackson, do you not see how silly it is to do it for yourself? You're like Mr. Beast counting to 1,000,000, except you didn't film it. So you can go up to people and be like, hey, I beat this game. And they go, oh, really? And you go, yep. And that's it. That's when the conversation ends. Like,
Wait,
at least
wait.
stream it or record it or make like a documentary about it or
Oh my
something.
man, not everything has to be content for other people. I'm completely
But
fine
when
with
it's
it
a
just
little
being for
dumb
me.
challenge
No,
like this, you
okay.
should do something with it instead of just sitting
I
on
agree
it.
with
Do
you,
what?
Jackson. Not everything has to be content for other people, but you clearly have discipline to sit down and do something just so fucking long,
I
hundreds
played a
of
video
hours.
game.
Why
It's
not?
not that deep. Over
Yeah,
3
but
years.
why? Like, but it's homework.
It's not like I
not
could
even
suddenly
game you
become a
enjoy.
Rocket League pro
it's
or
not
something like that.
relaxation.
Well, it is relaxation in the same way like watching paint dry is relaxation. Like you do
Why
get
not
into
learn
a
a language?
Yeah.
or watch a good show.
I
Or
did. I
something.
learned the
If
language of
I-
Ubisoft games. I knew exactly what was happening and when.
Jackson, if I'm going to put 100 hours into something, it's either genuinely fun and entertaining or learning a skill. Like when I set out a challenge, it's to learn an instrument or start like reading and learning something to develop a skill. And when I go to have fun, I play a game that gets me excited and I'm happy to play it, or I watch things that I want to see. I don't just
But the fun
arbitrarily
for me was the
pick
progression.
something and go,
the game wasn't
I
good.
should complete this.
The game wasn't good, but my enjoyment was still there because I was progressing in something and getting closer to the
But
goal
you
that I
could
had
have
set
been
for
having
myself.
fun and doing that in a good game at the same
Or
time.
you could have been, you could have been progressing into something that actually has an accomplishment, like climbing in a game,
Right.
like you getting better at a game. You didn't get better at the game. All you did was just pour enough time into it to finish it. Like, how does that feel good?
Or put it into
Because
put it
I
into a
got to the end,
developmental
I
skill.
got to the 100%. I get. Well, I don't want to fucking learn a language.
You
Jesus
don't have
Christ,
to
I
learn a
don't want
language. There's a million things you can learn to do.
I don't want to learn a skill. I just wanted to complete Assassin's Creed. Holy fuck! It's
You
not
live
fucking
an
dumb,
ambitious
guys.
life.
It's stupid.
You are truly
It's dumb.
ahead of us in terms of accomplishment.
You literally outwardly hate it. Every time you try and talk about it, you shit on it. Why? Why do it?
I
Yes,
shouldn't have because
why-
they're bad
And
games.
why not
Jackson,
any
it's
other
not even
mobile
ironic
game?
with you. Like, if you played it to laugh at it and you were like, yeah, me and my buddies on Discord, I stream it and it's really funny. It's like, okay, I totally get that. But you play it by yourself, probably in the dark on your little couch going, wee, haha, I'm Jackson. Like, it doesn't go anywhere.
Those are the noises I make. Yes.
Showing his girlfriend every once in a while as she's rolling her eyes.
This is the part where Aristotle dies in Odyssey. Watch this.
And then she's like, wow, that was terrible. And Jackson's like, I know.
It actually does kind of sound like in Fairly Odd Parents when Timmy Turner and his dad are going to the amusement park, but they're on that long escalator, and he says, "When do we get to the ride?"
This is the ride, yippee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, your accomplishment is actually just the boring stuff. That's what you found to be, like, fulfilling.
Jackson, imagine if you bought
Incorrect.
yourself a Casio keyboard instead and you put 100 hours into learning piano. Imagine where you'd be.
I do. Well, yeah, I'm a bit rusty, but I do know piano.
Well, imagine if you put 100
Anyway.
more hours in. You'd be great.
What the I don't understand your point. These are different times. I set aside time to do skill-based stuff where I further develop myself in actually beneficial ways to myself. And then there's times where I set myself dumb challenges. I don't understand what the whole...
Because once it's...
okay,
the
so
dumb
do you-
challenge is what is fun to me. That is what's fun
okay.
to me. That is a perfectly
But
subjective
you
thing.
actually are saying it is not fun. You did it
Yeah,
because
no,
it felt
that's
good when you
what's
were done.
confusing.
You're telling us it is miserable and that you do not enjoy it. So which is it?
The game is miserable, but the challenge is fun.
But the challenge is only fun once you're done after the misery.
Which means, wouldn't you rather do something where you
Well,
enjoy
there's-
the challenge as well as the accomplishment? Instead of
There's
just
certain
one?
spots. There's certain spots throughout the journey where there's special moments where it's like, hey, this is I've reached a new milestone. I've got some sense of enjoyment from this. But just overall, the challenge is fun. I like setting myself a challenge in a video game and then completing it. And I don't want to fucking learn Rocket League or things like that. That's not my cup of tea.
But why not, if you're gonna set a challenge, why not it be one where you actually do something that, like, you improve at the game, get better at it, or just outright enjoy it? Like, at this point, just play RuneScape and go for 200
Oh my
mil
God.
XP in rune crafting.
Or-
That's basically what you
Oh,
do with
yeah,
Or
Assassin's Creed.
Jackson, it sounds like you're into single player immersive stuff. Start speedrunning something. Do something
I don't-
that you do on your
Jesus
own
Christ.
as a challenge that like actually goes somewhere or and you can get better at.
No, I'm good. Okay. What do you want me to say? I'm not going to fucking take your suggestions on board. I'm happy with what I did. I'm happy with what I have accomplished.
You haven't accomplished anything. You
I have accomplished.
You took 3 times the amount of time it would take someone using an achievement guide to 100% a game you don't even like.
What do you mean achievement guide? This is just showing such a fundamental misunderstanding of what has actually happened. I did things the most optimal way because they're just time-based achievements essentially. They're just for getting through the game.
Optimal way. It's
So
a video game.
when you played the game, did you go in knowing that info? Because if you knew that the achievements were inevitable, what's the point of even getting them in the first place?
What do you mean? The achievements are for like completing certain story moments, I guess. So you just have to complete the game 100%, you know, clear all the zones, do all that bullshit, and make sure you tick off every achievement. It's not that deep.
Why do this instead of just like
Oh my
watching a
God.
movie or something? It's so fucking.
I do! I
bizarre.
watch movies! I do other stuff as well. It's not like this. Again, this was just something I chipped away at over multiple years. Like 1 hour every 2 weeks or so.
Why?
Multiple
That's not a
years.
defense. That just incriminates you more in this bizarre, like, illogical
To complete the
self-flagellation.
game! What the fuck don't you get?
It's because it's such a like.
Here's what I don't get. Like, Jackson, the rest of it, like, if we don't enjoy something, we stop doing it.
Yeah, and also this accomplishment is not like unique or interesting. Like if I walked around to people,
I'm not trying to be interesting for other people. Holy shit. Why is your whole life around entertaining other people? This was for me.
because I'm just trying to think where in your brain you get driven to finish this when it's like it's not. Where does the thing in your brain come that goes, ah, yes, doing this is a good thing that I did and not totally just a waste of time?
Well, he says it's a waste of time. That's what I don't get. If he was like, I'm really proud of this, it feels amazing, I loved it, I'd be like, okay, that's
Yeah,
fine.
and then
But
that's
you
totally fine.
outwardly hate it. Like, you
When did I
didn't
say
like
it?
it.
When did I say it was a waste of time?
You literally say you just wanted to waste time. So you looked for the most vapid, large waste of time game.
No, that was in terms of the challenge, finding something that was, you know, other people and myself, like, it is a boring game. Think that it's a boring game. So I wanted to take something that was so large and boring and fully complete it. Because that's what the challenge is.
Did you do all the
But I don't
DLC?
think I don't think I wasted, well, I had to for all the achievements. I don't personally think I wasted my time because it was an enjoyable accomplishment to me.
Okay, but why
So what don't you get about
specifically
that?
this large and boring thing? Like, why not learn the law?
I told you.
and how to
I
do
told you.
taxes?
What?
They're both boring.
Taxes?
Yeah. Why,
Maybe-
why not
hang
learn
on.
something productive? Why does it have to be this shitty?
Maybe
game?
Jackson enjoys.
Why play video games in general then, Kai? You fucking boomer.
Maybe Jackson enjoys being bored.
To have fun.
Maybe you just enjoy being bored.
No.
No?
I wasn't bored during it. Well, no, I was during large
Oh my
swaths of time.
Jackson, it's just
Holy
baffling. It's baffling because you put over 100 hours into this thing, and according to your own words, you are having fun for maybe 25 of them. So for 3 days worth
Because
of
of the
time,
payoff.
3 full
The
days,
payoff,
you're
man.
sitting there doing nothing. Why?
Is it a big payoff? I was just looking at the guide. It's an estimated achievement difficulty of 2 out of 10 with an estimated time completion of 100 hours.
Yeah, like I said, the achievements aren't hard. It's not a hard game or anything. I never said that. I said the time commitment is hard. Getting through
What
it.
are you even feeling accomplished about? It's not even difficult.
Getting through it. Getting through such a large, long game.
Okay. Are you trying to, on a whole, like do the entire Assassin's Creed series?
No, just this trilogy.
Why? If it was the whole series, I get it. Or if you were super into Assassin's Creed, I get it. But why just these 3 terrible, boring games?
Well, because they're different than all the rest.
Yeah, they're worse.
They're like its own. Well, some people disagree with you, but
Some people
Yeah,
are
that
wrong.
Do you feel a sense of loyalty to the franchise, and do you think sitting through
no,
the
I
bad ones,
feel a sense of sunk cost fallacy now, but especially with Valhalla, the third one.
Have you already
But
started?
no, I don't. Yeah, I've started. I don't feel any loyalty to it as a brand or anything.
So achievement guide for Valhalla is a 4 out of 10 with an estimated completion time of 150 hours.
Yeah, I've heard it's much longer.
And remember, Jackson, there is absolutely nothing stopping you from just not doing this.
Kinda. Apart from my own commitment.
You're like a little kid who takes a shovel out into the backyard, and you're like, I'm digging a hole. And the parents are like, oh, what are you digging for? And they're like, I don't know. I'm just digging.
I was actually just thinking about that, how I never went through that phase of going outside and digging a hole, but apparently it's a common thing. Like, people just feel the need to start digging holes.
I get it. There could be cool stuff down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess that is a pretty good
just like how
or metaphor for Assassin's Creed.
It's kind of like the opposite of how we data mined Assassin's Creed and we know there's no cool stuff in there.
Well, I'm happy with it. You guys can't take that away from me. I'm fine.
You're more than welcome to waste your own time. It's fine.
What's your guys' most played game?
RuneScape.
Good question. Probably Modern Warfare, the new one. If you include Warzone. Yeah.
That's a pretty surprising answer.
Yeah, I thought for the longest time it was Team Fortress 2, but I checked my Call of Duty hours, and if you put both Call of Duty and Warzone together, I've got like 500 or 600 or something.
Jeez.
I streamed it constantly. Yeah.
Oh, I wonder who has more hours out of me and Charlie. Him in RuneScape or me in Destiny 2?
Me, and it won't even be close.
Yeah. Charlie literally would spend 18 hours a day on RuneScape at some points.
Yeah, it wouldn't even be close, Jackson.
Well, wait,
it's
how is that
a contest?
That sounds way worse than what I just did.
That's just not even comparable, though. Those 18 hours I was spent constantly, like, actually achieving things, whether it was earning money in the game, earning levels to earn more money in the game, learning raids, or all kinds of things.
Also, RuneScape is a game you barely play.
At all different?
Like, this man would go to the gym, put a phone down, and be like, I'm farming for this, and just, like, tap it every 2 minutes, and that's it.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
That sounds like way less of an accomplishment then.
Well, I would never brag about it. Like, I didn't. It was a waste of time, but it got me to a place.
Okay, so it was a waste of time, but do you feel like you accomplished something then?
In the game, I did, not in real life.
Yeah,
I had to in order to unlock the things I needed in the game. For example, getting 99 prayer. Very tedious. I did it because prayer is super helpful. The more prayer points, the better equipped I am for the raids. So by doing it, I unlocked more options for me to have fun in the game. Yours is, I got 99 prayer. That's it.
But aren't you only doing that really to cap out numbers? To cap out your skills?
Some of them, yeah. Like, some of them I did just because they're easy to AFK. Like Andrew said on the phone, I can tap it a few times. I don't have to pay much attention. I did that just so I could have a maxed account, but the other ones I do because they unlock things in the game for me that I can have fun with, whether it's killing monsters, new strats, new money makers, all kinds of different things. There is an actual accomplishment, like things unlock for me in the game.
The difference is that Charlie's playing an MMO where the entire like design of the game is to grind to unlock more stuff to grind for, but you're playing
it's the same in Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, but it's a single player game, so it's like
you don't. Yeah, wait. What do you mean?
The principle's still the same though. You're still unlocking things to progress and then unlocking further things.
Yeah,
to
but
progress.
you're
It's
not.
an RPG. Numbers go up.
Yeah, but Jackson, you're not unlocking anything. You're just unlocking
No, you are.
achievements. Like
Well,
what?
no, that's a weird comparison. You're just unlocking more story or like new perks or something. Whereas in RuneScape, you fundamentally change the things you can do. For example, a quest that's locked behind certain numbers, certain skill levels.
Isn't a quest just a story moment then? Well, there's gameplay elements to that, but it's still you're just clicking around a screen.
Are there achievements?
So if you're going to boil everything down to it, then every game is a waste of time. Like that's not a good argument.
Well, that's where you guys are going.
You actively didn't like what you did.
No.
You actively did it as just a challenge because it was so boring.
Jackson, it could
but
be
that's where I got my
any,
enjoyment from.
any video game that you played. This thing that you did could be for any game. It would not matter. A good game, a bad game, a long game, a short game.